Not to worry for all those who in New York have been caught up in the drama or the disaster. I got good news. Help is on the way for all of you. Let's hit it and get it started.
I could trip a referee, tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
Knicks dodge a major bullet, edging the Cavaliers out by 9, but a big catch. Lost Jalen Brunson to a knee injury. Thankfully, it's only a knee contusion, or also known as a knee bruise. That would have been a huge loss. I tell you, Brunson's been so important to this team, they cannot afford to lose anyone else. They're bare bones at this point. No one else is carrying the team because now they're losing left and right. That's all they've been doing since Randall and Anunoby got hurt, who should be making a comeback real soon. Right now, the Knicks sit 4th in the Eastern Conference. And I tell you, the Eastern Conference is just getting way more competitive the way it looks. Boston's just not going to be caught anytime soon. Sixers are reeling since Embiid got hurt. Hawks are starting to come back up, even though they're not really in it. The Heat are starting to catch fire, no pun intended. It doesn't look good for the Knicks right now. But I got news for you. Much like the title says, help is on the way. I've seen some reports from Adrian Wojnarowski, of all people. Julius Randle apparently is not going to get surgery from what it looks like, and he'll be back real soon, which that's a huge break for the Knicks. Huge break. OG Anunoby looks like he'll be back soon too, and Jalen Brunson should not be out that long. I can't stress enough how important it is that these guys stay healthy, because you look at all this that they've built. It's special what Tom Thibodeau's been able to do with this team. He's been able to get the best out of them, and now you would think they had a chance at a championship now, which they still might. A lot of ball left to go here in the final third of the season, but health is the most important thing in this league, and you can't win without it. Apparently, Kirko time might be over in Minnesota. And apparently, Wall Street Wilson could be heading to Minnesota. That's music to my ears. I look at it. Now listen, it's nothing official yet, but a rumor, saying Zach Wilson go to the Vikings. The Vikings, interesting. Justin Jefferson, I hope you like him. Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent this offseason, so we'll see where he goes. The Falcons are interested in him. Zach Wilson, 12-21 career record, 23-25 touchdown interception ratio, and a measly 73.2% passer rating. And my goodness, man. Zach Wilson, you could argue the biggest bust in NFL history. But there's a silver lining when it comes to Zach Wilson. He gets all the excuses made for him, sure, but there's something that he could do. If he goes to Minnesota and actually becomes a starter somehow, even though I don't expect this to happen, he could succeed there. Now, I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket because we saw what happened with Sam Darnold. That didn't go well for the Panthers or him. Darnold's is he even in the league anymore? Yes, he was in the Niners in the Super Bowl. As a backup, third string. It's interesting. Zach is just a weird type of quarterback. There's 1 in a million % that he has a historical game. Historical might be stretching it a little bit, but he has a good game, and then a week later, just flatline, like a monitor in a hospital. Flatline, dead, nothing there. So, listen, it's best the Jets just get this move done as fast as possible, whether it's Minnesota or a release or a trade. I'm done with Zach Wilson. You're done with Zach Wilson. We're all done with Zach Wilson. The Jets are done with Zach Wilson, the fans, the front office, the team, everyone. It's a headache at this point, and you just got to get rid of him. There's no other way around it. Some good news for the Jets, apparently. Their rivals might not be as strong as they thought they were. The Buffalo Bills now cleaning house, from what it looks like. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, this is a long, long list, so bear with me. The Buffalo Bills have released the following. Safety, Jordan Poyer. Center back, Cornerback, excuse me, wrong sport. Wrong type of football. Tre'Davious White released. Center, Mitch Morse. Special teams gadget player, Saron Neal. Wide receiver, Deontay Hardy. Running back, Naheem Hines. And not to mention, they also restructured Von Miller's contract. You know what's the kicker of all this, guys? They're $20 million over the cap despite all of those moves. Buffalo needs to realize the old guys are not going to get it done anymore. Excuse me. Von Miller, not doing anything. Those are the guys. You could argue half of them were useless. The other half were okay. It's also worth mentioning Micah Hyde will be walking very soon from what it looks like. They don't have the money to pay him, and he's just getting up there in age. So Buffalo is at an interesting spot. You could say they're at a crossroads, okay? They just lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs for the third time. Miami's losing their players too. Patriots are obviously in a rebuild mode, which I fancy they're going to finish it very quickly with how it looks. And the Jets now opens up their window to maybe win the AFC East from what it looks like. I'd argue they're the new favorites with the light schedule and the team getting better on paper. I would put my eggs in the Jets basket, ladies and gentlemen. I would. Doubt Aaron Rodgers at your own risk because you're going to regret it. He does this every time. Every single time you doubt Aaron Rodgers, he comes back bigger, badder, and stronger than ever. So do it at your own risk, ladies and gentlemen. Jets on the right track, on the right flight path, but I wouldn't argue that their little brother are doing the same thing. So with the Giants now, as we switch colors to a darker shade, Rich Eisen reports the Giants are absolutely done with Daniel Jones. You hear that, Giants fans? It's starting to ring in your ears now, isn't it? We're starting to hear some reality and the truth. It's hitting you now, isn't it? Saquon Barkley is also not expected to come back, so this is interesting. You look at Daniel Jones. He tore his ACL in Week 9 during the 30-6 loss to the Raiders, and Boomer and Gio sense that the Giants are interested in Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Wow, I didn't see that one, ladies and gentlemen. I did not see that one coming. J.J. McCarthy, no, you know what? We're not even going to entertain him today because I don't think he's that great of a prospect. We'll talk about him another day. If I'm the Giants, I'm doing all I can to get a better quarterback than that. Whether it's a backup to start ahead of Jones or the rookie quarterback, I'm doing all I can to get Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. If you're going to reach for any quarterback at 6, you go for Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix if you really want to stretch it. I think they're just better prospects than J.J. McCarthy. I'm sorry, I don't see it. J.J. reminds me of Mac Jones, reminds me of Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. It's just, he's got bust potential written all over him. He's not the next Tom Brady. I hope not. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. But like I said, we're not even going to discuss J.J. McCarthy. We'll talk about him really soon. But for now, the Giants fans, you got to get a grip. Front office, if this is true, hopefully you finally come around and realize Jones is not the guy. Yeah, you paid him that big contract, but that doesn't mean you got to play him. You see, guys, we're going to pay Daniel Jones $160 million, and no matter what happens, we can't bench him. He's worth too much money. Who cares? You start your best player if you want to win, and Jones is not it. He's not the best player. I'd argue he's the third best quarterback on the roster behind DeVito and Tyrod Taylor, who's also gone. Better bring Gardner Minshew if you really want to compete for a backup spot. But I guess Jones' era is just over from what it looks like, and I can't say it's the wrong decision. He's just not good. I'd argue, not a top 40 quarterback right now. I'd look at backups. I'd put Zach Wilson over Daniel Jones. That's how low of a bar we're setting with Daniel Jones. So we look at what the Giants are thinking now. Dable wants his quarterback. You go and get it. You don't want him to get fired because I think he's a very good coach. I think Joe Shane's done an okay job at general manager. He's got a lot to prove this offseason. So we'll see where they go from there on out. We will end it there. I want to thank you for tuning in. Other shows have been taking storm. Let's talk about it, and anything goes have seemingly caught lightning in a bottle, and Rivalry Sports goes deep into some of the fiercest rivalries in all sports. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk ball soon.